Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be my 6-month review of the 2021 210 FSH Sport. After having this boat for 6 months, I absolutely enjoy it. All my friends enjoy the boat. My family enjoys the boat. It's one of the most innovative boats I've ever owned. This is my 5th boat. So I've had experience with inboards, outboards, and now the jet propulsion boat. I have had experience with jet propulsion in the past. I owned about 7 jet skis as well throughout my life. So I am familiar with the type of propulsion system we were using. I want to start the video out with the most commonly asked question. How reliable is the jet propulsion on this thing? So to start out with that, I'm gonna say that 90% of the time I have 0 issues with the jet propulsion. The only time I have had issues is with either small burrs of wood or shells wedging into one of the impellers, and you'll start to get a vibration. Well, when that happens, there's no need to freak out. Okay, now, there's no reverse on this. It's all controlled by the bucket. But what I found to help is that turbulence from putting it in reverse, pull off safely out of the channel if you're in one, and just go reverse and forward a couple times, not full throttle. And that usually, it's happened every time for me, dislodged whatever was in there. That turbulence caused it to either the air bubbles or the underwash of the water coming back from underneath it, flushed it out. Now that's not going to happen all the time because, again, our impellers only spin in one direction, so that doesn't mean that it'll happen every time. But it seems to me that when you go reverse forward a couple times, it eventually works itself out just from the turbulence of the water surrounding the cavity. So that is only happened maybe 3 times, I think, in the last 6 months. So not an issue at all. I've never had to get out of the boat. I've never even had to pull anything out of my drain plugs. And I am here in the St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Tampa area of Florida. So we do get a lot of mixed up waters because it's extremely used in busy channelways. So there's a lot of turbulence in the water, and never had any issues with cavitation or any of those issues as well. As far as the comfortability of the boat, it's very comfortable. I love it. I also added jetboatpilot.com's forward fishing platform with the filler cushions. So my whole bow turns into a sunbed for my family. They absolutely love that. Most of the time, I don't use the rear filler platform or cushion, but I run with the forward filler platform and cushion at all times. And it seems to just be able, I'm 6'4", I can stretch out and my feet go over there to the middle platform and I fit in the bow just fine, and it's a nice place to relax and enjoy the day. Comfortability for everybody else, I've had no complaints. There's plenty of cushions around the boat, and there is plenty of storage. Just this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I went out. I had a 10x10 canopy. I had 3 full-size chairs, a mini chair, a mini table, full gear, including floats and a floating island, which I'll be doing a review for soon. My bathroom, my porta potty toilet, a grill, 6 life jackets, fishing rod, pole anchor, my bow anchor, plus my bucket and my rear Danforth anchor. So the boat was fully loaded, and she handled just fine. Not too much lag, and I think top speed was around 38 with probably over 1,800 pounds on the boat. So pretty much to full capacity with all the gear and people. So again, comfortability, maneuverability around the boat was great. 6 full grown adults, no issues, no problems. Perfect family boat, not too big and not too small. For design, I mean, everybody compliments the boat. I mean, even your higher name boats come over and ask about my boat. They love the back platform. I enjoy the back platform. I'm easily able to back up to, about 18 inches of water off the shore. Instead of having to beach and climb over the bow or something, I just back right up and stay about 18 inches in the water and anchor off, and I can walk right off the back of my boat. So that, swim platform is amazing. Handles well, but yeah, all around fantastic boat. As for comfortability, maneuverability, reliability so far with the engines, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. There's always things that you can enjoy more from one different type of boat to another, so that's why it's not a perfect 10. No boat should ever be a perfect 10, but it is one of the most highest ranked that I've ever owned or that I've ever been on, and I've been on a lot of boats. As for the bad, there are a few things that I have come to find out. One, Yamaha's quality of service, and you're not their service department where I go, but their quality assurance as the boat came from the factory. So the first thing that happened to me is I was out with my family from out of town, and all of a sudden I lost all power on my starboard engine. Well, come to find out, and I do my pre-checks all the time. I was in the Navy for 10 years, and I'm all about preventative maintenance and pre-checks. But this one hose clamp that was on the exhaust manifold was just not tight enough, but it was tight enough for me when I went around looking for loose things. It didn't show to be loose. Well, the coupler popped off the exhaust manifold, and I was getting saltwater spray on my engines, and I lost power, and I had to limp back because at the time I did not have a hose clamp to pinch off the intake hose so that I could go over 5 miles an hour. So I limped back about 5 miles an hour. Another great thing about this boat, 2 engines. So if one fails, you have another one to get you back home safe. You don't have to call Sea-Tow or whoever else you have and wait to get towed back in. I was able to get myself back in and get it to the shop. Now, I do want to give a big shout out to Cycle Springs here in Clearwater, Florida. They have always got me in, gotten things corrected, ordered new parts, even though I didn't notice an issue with them. They're phenomenal. They see things that I don't even see. So, and they always get me in within a week and out, and I don't have any downtime. Bring it in during the week before even the weekend hits. I already got my boat back ready for the weekend, good to go. So that was the first issue. The second issue I had was about 2 weeks ago. I was out at a floating concert, and Yamaha's new design on the ladders, instead of the old center point on the ladder to attach it with a bungee and hold it in place, now they have 2 nipples on the outside edges of the ladder, and it's, they're welded on metal, and they're very, very sharp. I posted this on many of the boat forums, and people are saying their kids, their wives, themselves, their friends have all done this. My buddy ended up having almost like 15 stitches, I believe, in his leg. So watch out for that. Yamaha, you need to change that, or you need to round them off or something, because it slipped my buddy's leg wide open down to the bone on his shin, and he had to be rushed off to the hospital to get stitches. Now, they are on the outside, so, I mean, as you're climbing up and down the ladder, it's not a big deal, but what happened was he slid off the side of the boat to the side of the ladder, and as he turned around, he dragged his shin across that little nipple, and because he couldn't see it in the dark water, is deep water, so, and it just sliced it like a razor blade. The next thing that I had an issue with, and I'm actually still having an issue with, I'm gonna have to bring it back again. The center console door itself that leads into the changing room / bathroom, if you've installed a porta potty, the hinges seem to be weighed to one side, and my alignment's off, and what's happening is the lip of that door is riding on the outside edge of my center console, and it's scraping it up. The latching's fine, the shock is fine, it holds and everything, but when it's shut and you're at sea, it seems to shimmy to one side, and it's scraping up my gel coat, which I'm going to talk to them about. I'm sure they're going to get it taken care of for me. They already tried once. They said that Yamaha did not center the hinges when they put it in, and what they did is they said that they just moved the hinges over, but it's settling back into that same spot again. So I will update you guys with that later. It's not a major issue. It doesn't impede functionality, but it is cosmetically annoying to me. Also, on the hinges, the anchor door in the front. I had to bring it back for that. My anchor door started getting stuck, and I believe it's because they're using weaker hinges than what they need. And what happened is when I brought it back in for service, they agreed. They said that the hinges were pulling away from the fiberglass, and what it was doing, it was allowing the door to sag in the front and rub up against the finish up there, so it was making it harder to open and close. So what they did is they added a third mount point, and instead of just screwing it in, they actually used a bolt with a lock nut on it. And that took away that problem. That was a fix. It was done, and it worked perfectly. So that was great. Now, while we are on the anchor door, there is one thing I would like Yamaha to address, and that, of course, is that we have to climb over our locker door for our anchor in the front to get our anchor out. I noticed on other Yamaha models, it comes to the side, so you're free and clear to work. But for some reason on the 210 FSH, they decided to have it open back at you, and you have to reach around, and it's really a pain in the neck. And Yamaha, please, we want you to change that. Please incorporate side hinges somehow or in future models. Last thing I have to say is enjoy this boat. I mean, it is one of the smoothest riding, fun, just engineering. Whoever put it together is just awesome. There's so much room on that boat that you don't even realize it. And so much storage and plenty of walkway space and so many rod holders. I mean, I have more rod holders than most 25-foot center consoles that are in the 100,000 plus range. And, you know, I have a $50-something thousand boat. So it was phenomenal that they did that. So yeah, overall, love the boat. Minor tweaks that need to be done, but definitely not something that I would say should turn you away from getting this boat. I think this boat is a fantastic value. I looked at 3 other boats when I was going to buy this one, and it came in $10,000 cheaper than the other 21-foot center consoles that I was looking at. So, I mean, yes, there's some fit and finishing that needs to be addressed and some ergonomics that need to be addressed, but nothing worth a $10,000 difference. So I'm going to give this boat an overall standing of 8.5. That is just due to the fact that the quality assurance of it coming out of the factory is just not as high as I would have liked it to be. But I'm also going to chalk that up to a $10,000 less price point. And my boat was built during COVID, because I got one of the first 210 FSH Sports from 2021 that came out. I got mine in end of November, early December timeframe. So I hope this video helps you if you're looking into getting a Yamaha 210 FSH Sport. I highly recommend them. Great boat, great fuel economy, dual engines. Engineering is great. So many innovative things in this boat. Absolutely recommend this boat for anybody looking. Hope this review helped. All right, this is the FSH dude. Out.